Hello and good afternoon, Blood Bowl fans. This is Superfed TV, and I am joined by a wonderful coach. We have HighlordSalt, aka SJCT Sauce. How are you doing today, Sauce?
I'm doing all right.
Which one do you prefer of your many names?
Sauce is what I usually go by.
Sauce? Okay. We'll go by Sauce for the rest of this. Um, Perfect. And I appreciate you joining me on here. We're going to be taking a look at your Nurgle versus Necro match that you recently just played. But asking you the questions, the 16 turns on the pitch, the foul language. Are you familiar with the little videos that we do for foul language?
I think I remember watching one. Was it a season ago, 2 seasons ago?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was a little bit of a gap there, and we've taken it over. And for those of you that don't know Sauce, part of the reason why I selected him for this is he's somebody that's vocal and a regular member of the community, but also somewhat unknown. And I'm hoping to start to bring in a couple more coaches like that into the spotlight. You know, active members of the community, and give everyone a chance to get to know them a little bit better. But let's go ahead and kick this off. First question I have for you. Tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, any real life stuff you want to share, and then how you got into Blood Bowl and what your Blood Bowl background is.
So, live in Michigan right now. Kind of a beer aficionado.
Nice.
Currently trying to work through Jimmy John's. Hopefully, do some corporate promotion.
Okay.
Currently serving as assistant manager. So it kind of helps me get a spite for people in general. Helps me channel the Blood Bowl salt.
Nice, I love it. And how long have you been playing Blood Bowl?
So I've only been playing only a few years actually. I picked up Blood Bowl Chaos Edition on a whim because it was like for $5 on sale on a Steam. Like I don't know if it was winter or summer sale, and a buddy of mine got it, and I'm like, well, dice football sounds great. I love Warhammer Fantasy. I had no idea what I was doing, and then Blood Bowl 2 came around, and I just kind of bummed around the terrible, terrible open ladder.
Nice. I think that's
joined a few leagues.
Way a lot of people get started.
First major league I joined was the Rekif League with Thalric, Keji, and Ladius.
Okay.
And it was Ladius that actually suggested that I join Rebel instead of going through Rebel, which I probably should have done.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, school of hard knocks.
Yeah. And was this your first team, the Nurgle FTDs?
First, like, official league team?
Well, first with Rebel.
Oh, yeah, first with Rebel.
Yeah, okay. Perfect. So, yeah, I think you've... How many games would you say you played in Chaos Edition before you switched over?
I only played like 10.
Yeah, okay. I'd say your history is not too much longer than mine. I definitely didn't even know about Chaos Edition, but I'd say we're probably similar length of time playing the game. That's cool. What team did you start with, and what would you say your first love was with Blood Bowl teams?
So the first team I ever played, it was Norse actually. I kind of like the aesthetic of half-naked man barbarians, just punching people in the face.
Mm-hmm.
But AB7 is just so unreliable.
It's very cruel.
Kind of straight away, I did not stick to like Chorfa and Dorf. I actually really like the aesthetic of Chaos and tried to give that a try.
Okay.
Because I am a big Chaos fan as far as like Warhammer Fantasy and 40K is concerned.
Sure. How long did you stick with the Chaos? They're more of a long development team, which is not that great in open ladder, unless you're, I guess open ladder you can play it a long time. Were you one of those open ladder Chaos teams?
So not quite. I had a few kill pieces, but I had some really funky pieces. Like I had a block guard, stand firm, foul appearance Chaos Warrior.
Oh, I like that. Just a
I even had a, yeah. And I had a ball carrier that had foul appearance too. It was Blodge.
In theory, foul appearance sounds good on a ball carrier. In theory.
Yeah, ones aren't as frequent as you'd like to think.
Yeah. Plus, the guy that's carrying the ball, you don't want to have taking any hits if you can help it, if you're playing right.
I was definitely not playing right.
Yeah, that makes sense. Very cool. What's your favorite player or piece in the game?
On my team or just in general?
Just what's your, a lot of people say like the war dancer or gutter runner, that kind of thing. Like what's your kind of go-to positional, or it could just be, a piece that you build a certain way. Like, you like having a ball carrying werewolf or whatever.
So out of the sheer potential and directions you can go with it, the Kislev Blitzer.
Ooh, okay.
It's got strength access, agility access, general. There's a lot you can do with it.
Yeah, that's true. I like the starting jump up as well. I think that catches a lot of people off guard, and you can, position to where you're marking the cage, and if they don't move the cage up far enough, they, get surprised, and you open your own, opening, and yeah, I can see that being a good piece. Have you played a lot of Kislev?
I play a bit of Kislev in the Rebel Spin League.
Okay.
And I gotta say, like, having Blodge guard with leap into a cage is, for a guaranteed 2-die, kind of gross.
Yeah. When it works really well. My only problem with them has just been the TV bloat. I'm not a big fan of that, but it's hard to get those good windows where you've got enough skills to really upset somebody. Have you thought about, if you have to re-roll your Nurgle FTDs, would you go Kislev?
It's actually on one of my list of things to reroll too.
Really? Nice. Not a lot of Kislev players in the REL yet, so it's definitely a place to make a mark.
I feel like they get a lot of bad luck in the first start.
Yeah, it's definitely a building first season, I would think. What's one rule that you would change if you had to change anything about Blood Bowl? I know a lot of people have their say on Claw, Mighty Blow, and as a filthy Nurgle coach, I'm sure you have opinions there.
I actually really don't mind the Claw Mighty Blow because someone's got to stop AV9.
Right.
But the one thing that I can't stand, this is also coming from like playing Goblins. I threw a bomb at someone holding the ball, and they caught it.
You don't like one-handed catches?
I don't like one-handed catches.
Okay. I mean, I am all about buffing the teams that are just terrible, and Goblins being one of them. I think that's a good idea. So I could see that as a buff. I'm also a fan of buffing throw teammate, as I mentioned on my foul language episode a couple weeks ago. So I'm right there with you. I think Goblins, anything that you could do to help out Goblins, I think would be a good thing.
Throw teammate on the bomber, and when you do it that way, like a fireball.
Yeah.
Except it kills the goblin.
Yeah, that works. So let's go ahead and look at a couple questions from Reddit. Thank you, everyone that's watching that posted some questions there. Great question from Gary Bear. As the leader of a meme clan, what is your all-time favorite meme from Rebel?
I was actually thinking about this since that thread popped up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like a three-way tie.
Okay.
So one of them is Iron Masters turn 16 stall.
That's a good one.
Big Rat.
Big Rat's a good one.
I got to give a shout out to Cheese and our little rivalry about his 84 block hyper control. That is my favorite.
That's mine too. Yes. That's probably where I know you most on the Discord, is whenever there's a good meme, you're one to pick it up just alongside me. So I appreciate that. Gotta get behind the meme and embrace the meme and charge ahead.
I'm a man of the people, and the people like memes.
Yeah, of course. For those of you that don't know, I guess we could give a little bit of context. The 84 meme is a meme from a game between Motley and Cheese Tactics, where Cheezix is the name of the coach. Cheese Tactics is the name of the team. Cheese gave up 84 blocks after talking about his hyper control strategy in one game against these dwarves, and he blamed a lot of it on his stand firm. And to be fair, stand firm definitely does make you take extra blocks, especially against frenzy. But yeah, it was a humbling game, and has became a meme ever since. It wasn't actually the most blocks in a single game. That was 87 blocks that we have if you take a look at Blood Bowl 2 League Manager. But that one stood out, and there hasn't been any game quite like it ever since. I think we've hammered that meme into the ground so long that everyone's afraid to give up more than 84 blocks. But yeah, that's good little bit of context there on that one. Another question coming in from Medic Death Rocky, who's the coach of the Rocky Road Warriors. Who's the best member of Fat Kids? And for those of you that don't know, Sauce is the leader of Fat Kids.
I had a feeling this one was coming up. Might upset some feelings.
Why I'm putting you on the spot.
But I gotta give it to Starkweather. He's been a trooper. I've thrown his Nurgle team under the bus a few times. He's managed to pull out one of the few wins.
Well, and for those of you that don't know, the bus is the first up. So basically, you put that team up there, and your opponent clan gets to put any other team they want against them. So that's a worthy title to give him as the best player if you're throwing him under the bus. If you, let's see, this one's from Arch XL. If you were going to play any non-stunty team in clan, what would it be?
Orcs.
Orcs? Ah, okay.
You don't need any doubles. Their normals are really good. And you can get block on all the bobs.
Yeah. It's a good plan. Kejiru's had some wicked orcs in the clan league. I had to go up against him with the one season I played in clan. That was not fun. Taking my orcs against his orcs. Let's see. This one is the top question of all. Hindus. Do you know if Hindus won the Hindus versus Hindi match?
I got confused between them. I imagine some kind of avian picture won.
I don't know who won either because I can't tell the two apart. So, you know, I was going to give him a shout out, but if neither of us can tell them apart, we'll just say that Hindus won since he's the one that asked the question. How many eyebrow gifts do you have in that folder?
Let's see. I think I got close to 20 of them.
Okay.
Just always looking for more.
Yeah. The eyebrow gifts are both terrifying and amusing at the same time. Please keep those up.
Damn straight.
Yep. Mirscata would like to know if the fat kids are really fat or if it's just a long-used PR program to garner followers and sell more merchandise.
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. Like the fat kids, halflings, yes, they're fat. They are tubby. But it's mostly a kind of a populist Blood Bowl movement.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. What's a team or a coach that has really impressed you since playing in the Rebel? A team that you played against or a coach that you just were completely dumbfounded by?
It'd have to be, and I miss this guy, Nocturnal, since he moved over to G-Man.
Last season, JJ Cash. Nocturnal's in real too.
Oh, sorry. God, all human coaches look the same.
They were both a wicked duo, though. I'll give you that. But JJ Cash, you were saying?
Yeah, JJ Cash. Like he had really good pieces. He played the mobility against my slow Nurgle. I could do nothing.
That's good recommendation there. He's a playoff coach, and I'm not sure. I haven't followed. As soon as you leave Rel, he just kind of leave my spotlight. But yeah, I haven't followed him this much this season. I'm hoping he's in good shape. I'm imagining we'll see him again in playoffs this season, but I'll have to take a look at that later today. What other games do you play other than Blood Bowl?
So getting back into Dota 2 since the International's coming up.
Been
kind of cycling between Far Cry 5 and God of War on the PS4.
Okay.
And I got like a massive backlog of other games.
Yeah, that comes with having a Steam account. I'm kind of right there. I've been playing BattleTech this week and looking at Pillars of Eternity, but I want to play through the first one all the way before I do the second one. So that if I even start that though, I know that that's like a 200-hour commitment. So I'm not sure if I'm ready for that. Yeah, yeah. But Dota, huh? You're on that side of the fence. I've always been on the League side of things.
It's a little more mechanically complex, and I kind of like that sort of shtick.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Let's see. Havoc would like to know, what pregame rituals does your team perform? Do they pop disease-filled sores, or what is the team's secret sauce for winning games?
So we definitely try and sharpen the claws before every game.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully the fists aren't pillowy. You got to like pop the pustules, so it's kind of cushioning on the fingers, actually. You don't bathe. You kind of like roll around in the dirt, maybe get a few hookers to acquire some new diseases that you don't already have. And
you can actually find hookers as Nurgle players? That's impressive. Not have
yeah, don't you remember the old Blood Bowl Chaos Edition Nurgle cheerleaders?
No, I don't. Is that really a
thing? Yeah. They're kind of thick.
Okay. Oh, I'll have to save that one for later. God. I could just imagine. Okay. I mean, I've seen orc cheerleaders, so I can only imagine what Nurgle cheerleaders would look like.
You'd actually be surprised.
Metal would like to know if you are an evolved form of Sace, or if he's evolved form of you. Is there a third entity that we are not yet privy to?
So, I actually talked with Sace about this. We aren't an evolved form or a de-evolved form. We need to talk to Sage about this, but we are actually 3 parts of a trinity. Sausages.
I've been trying to because I do the ads for the podcast, and I've been trying to mix the 3 of this up into an ad several different ways, and I still can't land on exactly how I want it to go, but I'm glad you guys are all aware of it as well. But it's got to be some form of slaughterhouse, or some similar form, because you all do play the murder teams. Let's see. Watching the horrible run of ones for Jimmy Burrito right there. How does daily or weekly diet of a champion from the Fat Kids look like? How much protein do they eat? Do they even lift? Courtesy
so
of
we
Gengar.
lift burgers into our mouths. We lift all sorts of foods into our mouths. There is some protein in there, but definitely like cake, pie, candy. It's the trees that do all the lifting, though.
Okay, fair enough. What's the most crazy game of Blood Bowl you ever played?
I think I can't remember this one. That's a really tough one because I played a lot of games. But
What's one that comes to memory recently? And the Rebel even.
I was actually in the Spin League. I was playing a Kislev game, and I think it was against elves. And we just kept out-elfing each other, jumping into cages, knocking the ball loose, failing to pick up the ball. It was just turnaround for 16 turns, and I think it was 4 or 5 total touchdowns.
Jeez.
Almost no injuries, though. Kind of disappointing.
There are those games where it just seems like nobody will die no matter what. And the floor is just a cushion. And that question was from Chabsu. He also wanted to know who's the best coach in Div 4.
In Div 4, I kind of got to throw that to Thessa. I mean, Lazarus is good, but Thessa abused the bad string of dice that I got in our game to no end.
Yeah, I watched a fair number of games from Div 4, and I kind of got to agree with you. I think Thessa is just coaching extremely well. It's his defensive drives that always impress me. So Because, every elf can score really quickly, but to be able to turn the ball over after you do that is a real skill. So I like seeing that. What's your actual favorite sauce? Karen Zord would like to know.
I'm pretty partial to Alfredo.
Oh, okay. That's probably goes along with being a fat kid. I can testify to that one. Big fan of the Alfredo myself. And his Blood Bowl question would be, who is the best player that you ever developed, and have they died yet?
Well, I guess the best player is going to be Wardigor, and no, he's still alive. He's taken mighty blow hits to the face. He's taken 3 lightning bolts in his career. Survived 2 of them.
What's Wardigor have currently?
So he is Blodge, Sure Hands, Agility, and 2 heads.
Okay, yeah, that's a good build. It kind of makes up for one of the weaknesses of the Nurgle team, having an Agi 4-piece. Then you don't worry about the rain so much. Yeah, I can see that being a very, very useful piece. I'm always partial to the strength ups myself, but Agi ups are good too.
He can really squeak through tackle zones if I absolutely need to do stupid rolls.
Yeah, exactly. The 2 heads with Agi 4 is the reason why Skaven are so freaking good. So the only thing he really needs probably is a movement up, but I'm sure that's his legendary level coming.
Fingers crossed.
Okay, very good. And let's see. If you could steal one player from any other team and put it onto your team, who would it be?
Laz's Beast of Strength 6 block Beast of Nurgle. I want it. I want it.
Not even like an off race to go on your Nurgle team. You just want a better Beast of Nurgle.
I mean, I love Smegma, my dumb retarded puppy, but I look enviously at other people's big guys, and I stare at the slow kid over here who has only rolled normals.
Yeah, that's one of the... It's almost probably a meme at this point, and the Rebel is the big guy development. We've got so many freaking Bloxagors. You wouldn't even believe it. And then you look at like the Yeti that D's had from the Big O that's got block and tackle. I mean, geez, it's just crazy. Yeah, if you're one of the few coaches that doesn't have a bunch of doubles on your big guy and you're playing in the Rebel, it does feel bad. Why I haven't bothered replacing my troll. But yeah, I could definitely see that as a wise choice. How'd your match go against Laz? Have you guys played?
Yeah, we did play. I actually beat him 2-1.
Oh, nice.
His beast didn't do what it needed to do, and my Claw Mighty Blow managed to MNG his Claw Mighty Blow.
Are you still in the playoff picture? Probably should have looked.
I believe I still am, but it's highly conditional, so I have to beat Rusty next, and Thessa has to eat shit for the next 2 weeks.
There are 2 or 3 spots for Div 4?
3.
3, okay. Right now, currently, you've got your game played, and no one else does, and so you're sitting in 3rd place, so assuming that Moniker and Rusty lose one of the next 2 games, and you play Rusty, so you've got the best shot of knocking him out. Moniker could knock himself out. Yeah. Oh, he has a bye.
Yep.
So that's why you're not in 3rd. Okay, I see what you're saying. So yeah, you have to basically beat Rusty and have either Moniker or Thessa drop. Tricky.
Yeah, I'm relying on Havoc, of all people, in Div 4 to beat Thessa.
I can see your optimism. Yeah, that's a tough spot. Well, you've actually kind of got a reputation for being the worst coach to play against in the Devastational. So, assuming that you don't make the playoffs, can we expect to see your disgusting team there?
The Devastational is where I truly belong. And I need extra cash so I can replace my big guy if he doesn't roll block in the next Kaz.
Nice. Okay. I like it. I like that plan. And I don't like the fact that I will probably be the closest to your team in TV and likely to play against you if I also don't make the playoffs. So, yeah, that might be a thing. That could be a really bad thing.
For your girls getting some new creepy crawlies?
Yeah, you know, I mean, typically STDs just bounce right off them, but I'm worried that yours might stick. Yours seem a little bit more permanent, especially when you play orcs. That's the thing that worries me the most. You have a tendency to really enjoy the green teams.
That's funny because I'm green colorblind. Orcs are brown to me.
That is funny. Nice. All right. Let's take a look again at a couple more of the questions on the list here. We've got question from Iron Master. We talked a little bit about this, but your thoughts on Claw Palm. I know you said you like it to keep down AV9. How else do you think? Well, let's see. In addition to the Claw Palm, I'm going to just kind of ask you myself, how do you feel about fouling? Because I don't think you are probably one of the biggest boots that I've seen for Nurgle. And typically I expect Nurgle to be more of a foul team. But what are your thoughts on the fouling game and any additional thoughts that you have on Claw Palm?
So I actually would really like to foul more. I'm more of a strategic fouler, not like the Irish tap dancers like Gengar, Arabi.
Mm-hmm.
If I get the opportunity to foul a really good piece, I will go for it. But generally my positioning doesn't allow for me to foul that much. But for the most part, neither does my opponent.
Yeah.
But as far as Claw Palm, the only issue I have, the Claw Mighty Blow part is fine. My issue comes from the pile on part. And I feel like we can kind of find a happy medium between the recent Games Workshop rules where it eats a team reroll. But I feel like if you're jumping on a guy and you have claws on your hands, your armor shouldn't be in risk too.
Make an armor roll for it. I like that. That's different for sure. As long as it doesn't nerf the regular pylon teams though. Because for example, Norse, if they don't have that pylon game, that is pretty rough for them. And they would be hurting for a armor roll as well.
But you could put a limitation. They could only at best be KO'd or stunned.
Yeah, that's something. I like that idea too with the stun. It's a different one. That's not a perspective I've usually heard. Usually I hear, make them not stack together or things like that. So interesting thing to think about. You mentioned you're a beer fan. What kind of beers do you like?
So I absolutely detest IPAs. It tastes like battery acid. I'm more of a fan of Russian stouts, Imperial, anything over 10%, but I actually do have a sweet tooth for fruit beer.
Yeah.
Which I'm currently drinking one right now.
I like some of the blondes, which is, not so much on the IPA side of things, but can be.
If we're talking Belgian style ales are really good.
Yeah, I like Belgians. Those are good. Any particular brands that you want to shout out?
So coming from Michigan, I swear by Founders. And I actually, in the next town over, is a local meadery that makes absolutely phenomenal honey wine.
Ooh, okay. Now that's something that's, I feel like, making a resurgence. A lot of the honeyed stuff. See people talking about their mead. Yeah. All right. I think we are just about wrapped up with the main questions that we've got from the list there. So we can kind of move on to, I guess what do we call this? The lightning round, I guess. Any just random thoughts that pop into your head or questions that I can think of on the spot here. Let's see. If you had to play any Division 1 coach, who would you like to take on the most?
Division 1. I got to remember names here. You know, actually, yeah, I do really want to play you.
Okay. Fair enough. You want to beat on my orcs?
Oh, I haven't. I don't think I have played a Division 1 coach yet.
You played Cheese when he was in Div 1, I think.
I thought he was in Div 2 when I played him.
Maybe it was on the migration, on the way up. Maybe that's why he was so... No.
No, he was on the way down.
He was on the way down. Yes, that's right. And then he was rebuilding the whole time. Yeah. No, I think it was 2 seasons ago, right? Because he's down this season. So it would have been right before he got into Rel 1. So yeah, I would count that as a Rel 1 coach. Who else have you played in the Devastational?
See, I've played Arch. I think it was Arch. Is it Please Don't Murder Me?
Luke Sama.
Luke Sama, yeah. I played Luke Sama. That was a fun game.
Yeah. He's got a crazy team.
Yeah, I only really won that because I got his Agi 6 catcher out when he tried to mark my ball carrier.
Yeah, he's got a lot of Agi ups. I think he's got like 5 or 6 stat ups on his team.
Yeah, it's kind of gross, and I'm just sitting at my plus Agi.
Yeah. It's weird how that can happen where you get just one team that gets everything. Okay. And anyone else that you played in the Devastational? That rings a bell?
Played
stands out?
Rolling Red, and he actually scummed a chainsaw. I'm still not forgiving him for that.
Ooh.
He scummed in the Devastational. It's like breaking 5 different honor codes.
Yeah. Back when the Devastationals used to be spins, like there used to be a lot more of the, I would say, gentlemanly agreements of how do you play a Devastational game or a spin game, and yeah, if chainsaws were in the game at that point, there would be some tears for sure over a scumming of those. But yeah, that's gonna be a good one. Rolling Rock, what's I want to say he's Rel 7. Does that sound right?
I think it was a Lizardmen.
Mm-hmm.
Can't remember the team name though.
Yeah, I remember seeing the name. Right on. And let's see, if we were to look at your team right now, let me pull this up really quick. Talk through the rest of your players here. So you've got a couple Agi busts on your Nurgle Warriors. I guess that probably doesn't hurt your feelings too much, except one is Blodge.
Well, he's only supposed to be there to hit things and not move if people try to hit him.
Yeah. That'll work out somewhat well for you. You got 2 Claw Mighty Blow ones. You go block first, it looks like, on almost all your Nurgle Warriors. Is that your kind of preferred path, or is there a reason behind that?
So, like Bob's Chaos Warriors, they're super unreliable, and I like to block a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So negating the both down dice really helps. If I were kind of pressed, if I had more freedom based on the division, I might go Mighty Blow first if I want faster development, or if I'm really desperate for getting a playoff spot, or if I'm in the playoffs, fingers crossed, guard.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm assuming Labius the Crusty would be going for guard next.
Yeah, after I lost Chlamydius the Sticky, it's been really hard again in this division, losing just even one guard.
Let's see. Chlamydius the Sticky was block guard, stand firm at 36 SPP. So how'd Chlamydius go out?
He got hit by Garadza from Culinary Delights. It was rolled boxcars, didn't even need Mighty Blow, didn't even really need Claw. And then the injury roll was absolute crap. And then I think I rolled a 1 on the regen. And I'm still kicking myself for not playing the Blodge score in front of him.
I'm realizing that you have probably the longest former player list of any team I think I've ever seen on Blood Bowl 2 League Manager.
I mean, when you get trophies, they die. And you hire a bunch of rotters, they die.
Well, and you seem to be firing a bunch of them too. But yeah, if you ever want to laugh, I mean, There's been many Cam the Clap Johnsons, as well as Carl.
It's a good name.
Gary Goopy Gooch. Gary the Gooch Adams. Oh, man. You've got so many good ones on here.
I've destroyed my Google search history.
Tainted Terry, Terry the Taint. Sam Slick Scroat. Yeah. Anyway, if you have a bored moment, fans at home, want a little giggle, head on over to that previous player lists for Nurgle FTDs. Additionally, let's see, you've got, so those are the Nurgle Warriors. As far as the Pestigors, the Pestigors go, we've already talked about Wardigor, which is the Sure Hands Blodge, 2 heads, Agi 4. You've got a killer, Scrotus the Unwashed, with Mighty Blow, Tackle, Block, piling on. That's your preferred path, going with the Tackle before Block, or?
It was not my preferred path. It was based on a string of devastational games, and then the environment of the division.
Realized that you didn't have any tackle and just needed...
I had no tackle, and I needed reliable ways to get through Blodge.
Yeah. That certainly is a common Nurgle issue. I did a Nurgle champ run, and it took me 20 games to get tackle, and that was a mistake. You do have also Wrestle Tackle on Rashi Cyst Sack. Is that a recent addition to the team?
It is a recent addition. He's the... there used to be a curse on my Pestigors where Scrotus and Wardigor had their levels, but every Pestigor I had would die or get crippled before reaching level 3 or 2. No, second level.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not the easiest team to level. I mean, the Pestigors do have the Agi 3, but once you get like a preferred ball carrier, like you have Wardigor, it's hard to share the love with other players. The Nurgle coach I was watching in 9A, Tommy Tutal, I think you played him. He's been handing off to his Nurgle Warriors just about every chance he gets, and it's been amusing to watch.
I don't think he's had the luck I've had with MVP roles on my Nurgle Warriors for like the first 2 seasons of their life.
That makes a big difference. I think for my first 2 seasons on my orcs, my black orcs never got MVPs. And so I had, 4 level 4 blitzers and 4 level 1 black orcs. And it was so lopsided. Felt really bad. But you eventually get them up the longer you stick with the team. Yeah. Makes sense. No kicker on your rotters. Have you decided against the kicker or just prioritizing the dirty player?
I really wanted the kicker, but in my division, I needed more dirty player.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you guys are a little bit bashy in the Fighting Fours, as we're seeing.
Understatement.
You're currently turn 16 with 1 golem and 2 zombies for Jimmy Burrito.
One short of a pitch clear.
Yeah, just shy. What a shame.
Yeah, shame I couldn't get any of them.
Yeah, exactly. Well, fair enough. Thank you so much for joining me on this one, Sauce. I think we got to
no problem.
all know you a little bit better, and I am afraid to say that I will probably see you in the Devastational, because I'm just not that confident right now in my ability to make the playoffs or yours. So we're both right on the cusp.
Stranger things have happened.
It's true. It's true. And if you do make the playoffs, best of luck to you. No luck to you if you're in the Devastational, because that's your home turf as far as I'm concerned. It's
I'm still waiting it to at least be renamed slightly.
If you win this one again after the last 2, I think it might just be unofficially called the Sauce-stational or something like that. We'll have to come up with a memey name for it. That's too much. It's too much. You're too good there. I think a lot of teams are just terrified to play you. So that makes a difference too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, fair enough. Like I said, thank you so much for joining us. anything that you'd like to share with everybody before we take off? Anything we didn't cover?
I think we actually got everything. And to anyone, if I make playoffs or if I go to Devastational, don't worry. The hands are nice and pillowy.
All right. We'll look for those pillowy hands in a future stream, I'm sure. But thank you, everybody, for watching. You guys have a good evening, wherever you are. Today is Mother's Day. By the time most of you are going to be watching this, I'm sure it's later on in the week. So stay classy, as Metal would say, or in my case, have a good night.